어머, 헐, 우와, 진짜요? 대박. 구나. 아이고. Hi, this is Mia, and today I want to talk about something that Korea taught me that I now do in any language without thinking. When I first started spending time with some Korean friends and colleagues, I noticed something strange. People kept asking me if I was okay when I was talking with them. Someone would be telling me a story, and at some point, they would just stop, look at me, and ask, 괜찮아요? Are you okay? And I would be confused. I didn't do any weird faces to my knowledge. I just had been listening very quietly like anyone would have done, or so I thought. What I did not know yet is that in Korean conversations, listening quietly is not actually listening, or at least it does not read that way. If you're not making little sounds, you don't have little reaction here and there, or at least small verbal nods every few seconds, the person speaking will assume something is off. They will think that you are bored or upset or distant, like you don't really care. Silent reads as not being interested. For French people, this is the opposite. In France, you let someone talk. You wait until they're done telling you their story, and then you react. Interrupting with constant noises would actually be considered slightly rude, as if you're not letting them finish their thought. It took me an embarrassingly long time to understand what was actually happening. I just thought my colleagues and friends were really worried about me. The way I actually figured it out is by working closely with one of my colleagues for a few years. She reacts very naturally in conversations, the way a lot of Korean people actually do, with those little sounds like 어머, 아 진짜? 아이고, 그렇군요, that just come out constantly when she talks. So I start doing it with her. Not really copying her, more like reacting alongside with her when something was happening. For a long time, I was a beat behind her, hearing her reaction and matching it. And then slowly, without really noticing when, I started reacting at the same time as her. Eventually, I just stopped paying attention to how she was reacting because I was doing it myself. And I wasn't really thinking about it anymore until I came back to France. About 2 years ago, I was in Paris with one of my best friends, and we were having a really nice stroll one afternoon, just walking and talking. At some point she stopped, looked at me, and said, "Why did you keep telling me this is interesting? It's not that interesting, I'm just talking about my job." And she was right. I had said intéressant 4 or 5 times in the last 5 minutes, about things that were honestly not that interesting. The funny thing is that in that situation in Korean, I would have said, 재밌네요, 재밌네, 재밌어. And in Korean, those phrases work more like a filler, something you say constantly to keep the conversation warm. It's not really a comment on whether what the person is saying is actually interesting, but I had been translating it directly into French. But in French, it is a word for an idea, a fact, a book, not for someone telling you about their life, which is why my friend was confused. I would not say that I cannot stop it or I can control it, but I know that sometimes in France dialing it down feels a bit awkward to me now. If a friend tells me something, I want to react, and when I don't do it, I feel like I'm being a bit rude. I think this is something you don't really expect about absorbing another culture. Sometimes it's a little bit awkward, but sometimes people just find it entertaining, and sometimes it makes me foreign in both languages. And it's okay. Has it ever happened to you to pick up something from another language or another culture without even realizing it? Let me know in the comments, and as always, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. 재밌네. 우와, 어머, 헐, 진짜요? 대박. 아이고.